Hello, I'm Lindsay Konzak, editor of Modern Distribution Management at MDM.com. This month we're talking with Mark Dancer, who is founder and president of Channelvation and an expert on channel strategy, innovation, and execution. Mark's going to talk with us today about CRM, or Customer Relationship Management. Mark, welcome.
Thank you, Lindsay. I'm happy to be here.
Great. Well, we're looking forward to hearing what you have to say on this very interesting topic. Let's start with defining CRM. What is it and how is it used in the distribution market?
CRM, which stands for Customer Relationship Management, is both a software tool and a strategy. As a software tool, CRM is about automating sales processes and marketing processes, even customer service processes, all of the interactions that a distributor can have with their customers. Some of the very common uses for CRM are as a tool for managing pipelines. So that's getting an opportunity from the early stages all the way through close. CRM is also used for lead management, execution of marketing programs through salespeople, and also just sharing information back and forth between a salesperson and the home office, and from the company's, the distributor's business systems, and the salesperson. As a strategy, Customer Relationship Management, or CRM, is about distributors defining the relationships and the experiences they want their customers to have, and using the tool and setting their goals for building their brands, reinforcing the experience, and really driving and strengthening those relationships, which ultimately leads to improve sales and improve profits for the distributor.
Excellent. So why then do you think that CRM has somewhat of a bad rap in distribution? I mean, what challenges have there been to adoption of these tools?
That's a great question, and I would say that CRM has had a bad rap, not just in distribution, but in all industries for a very long time. It wasn't that long ago, maybe over the last 5 or 10 years, when I was working with clients and we were thinking about better ways to serve customers, and I would ask whether their CRM tool was a useful way to kind of reinforce the strategies that we were trying to execute. And more often than not, CRM was more of a barrier or something to be avoided. But a lot has happened since then. In the last several years, there's been a lot of innovation, new companies coming on the scene, and companies that offer CRM offering new tools and new human interfaces and new capabilities. There's also the ability now to put CRM in the field, in the salespeople's hands, so that the information that they can get through CRM is available at their fingertips, and that's through mobile devices like smartphones and tablets. But I think most importantly, the bad rap around CRM has changed because it's much more easy to use now. It used to be that if you were using CRM and you had a sales process, you had to change your process and your terminology to fit the CRM platform. Now it's the other way around. CRM is very aligned with the way sales processes work, and it's very customizable and configurable, so it's much more easy to use. If I think a little bit about the barriers that have been out there for adoption, there's really been two. One, and this one still exists, there's a lot of perception amongst salespeople that CRM is a time waster, that it's really about the sales force putting information into CRM, typing the results of their customer visits so that management can see it and then look over their shoulders. But the other barrier to using CRM is more about leadership and strategy. In my work with distributors, I found that the distributors that have the best use of CRM and get the most out of it have a very clear understanding of their strategy and their sales and marketing processes. So distributors who know which accounts they want to go to for improved sales and profits, and they know the behaviors, the activities, the things that the salesperson can do that drive those opportunities along and really build customer satisfaction. Companies that have that understanding can use CRM and kind of work it into their approach. In that case, it becomes not just an enabler to kind of reinforce the strategy and reinforce the desired behaviors, but it really becomes a way to kind of accelerate results, and they get much more out of it. So the barriers which are being overcome are salesperson resistance and a general kind of lack of good strategy and execution plans, which is a precursor for launching CRM.
Mark, you're working on a book for the National Association of Wholesaler Distributors on this very topic, on CRM, and with the intention of providing a guide for distributors. So why now? Why do you think the time is ripe for distributors to move forward on CRM-based initiatives?
Thank you, Lindsay. That's a great question. In the course of researching and writing the book, we talked with and exchanged emails with and online surveys with, and really had input from over 250 different distributors across all lines of trade, all sizes of business, and even all types of ownership models, from publicly traded to privately held companies. And we found a huge amount of interest in CRM, a lot of adoption, a lot of shopping, and the distributors who were really experienced at CRM told us that it's going to become a standard practice. And this is the real reason why the timing is right for distributors to think about, if you're not using CRM, should you use it? And if you are using it, how do you get more out of it? When we asked what they meant by a standard practice, they said that distributor executives should think about CRM as becoming much like the website that they didn't have years ago that they have now today, much like email that wasn't used even longer ago but which exists today, and even warehouse management systems, tools that they use to automate the rest of their business. So as it becomes a standard practice, it will be something that distributors want to do to remain competitive and keep up with other distributors.
With this book, you did a survey, correct, with NAW on the adoption and uses of CRM, and you referenced some of that. What are some of the key trends you uncovered in the results?
We found that about 60%, just over 60% of distributors were already using some form of sales automation, some form of CRM tools. And that was both from basic to very advanced. On the basic side of using CRM, we found that distributors were using automation tools to help them with contact management and lead generation. On the more advanced side of using CRM, distributors were using pipeline tools, territory management tools, forecasting tools, and even an element of social media that's available within CRM. Now, of the almost 40% of distributors that told us they were not using any form of CRM, 40% of those distributors told us that they're already shopping for CRM. They've reached out to vendors and the vendors' partners and have evaluated their options, and they're just trying to figure out which platform is best for them, and very importantly, how they can really use CRM to drive results in their own business. And again, of the 40% of distributors that are not currently using CRM, 40% are shopping, and another 20% are actually in the first phases of implementation. So they've decided on a vendor and they're just getting started.